The Supreme Court is getting close to when it goes on its 3-month summer recess. So in the next weeks, any undecided cases sitting on the docket will finally get opinions issued. So subscribe to this channel so you make sure you don't miss any of those decisions. But let's take a look at what is left to be decided. So in the calendar above, you can see which cases are left to be decided. So anything shaded gray has already been decided, but the major cases are highlighted in red. From the first half of their term, only one major case is left to get an opinion issued, and that's U.S. versus Scrimeti. This case challenges a law that was passed in Tennessee, which prohibits all medical treatments intended to allow a minor to identify with or to live as a purported identity inconsistent with their gender or sex at birth, with the law being appealed to the Supreme Court, saying that it violates equal protection under the 14th Amendment. There are 4 other big cases still awaiting judgment, one of which is Louisiana versus Calais. This case in Louisiana is really about gerrymandering, and it's a challenge to Louisiana's latest redistricting plan. The state and a group of Black voters asked the justices to reinstate a congressional map that had been enacted by the Louisiana legislature last year, and it had created a second majority Black district. Who described themselves as non-African American challenged, saying that the new map was an unconstitutional racial gerrymander, and a federal judge agreed with them. So the case has now been appealed to the Supreme Court. Kennedy versus Braidwood Management is a case I've talked about before on this channel, and what it's looking at is whether the structure of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force violates the Constitution's Appointments Clause. And this is an important case because it could have long-range impacts in terms of what preventive health services are required to be covered with no cost share by insurers nationwide. Mahmoud versus Taylor is otherwise known as the LGBTQ book ban. And what is at stake here is whether public schools burden parents' religious exercise when they compel elementary school children to participate in instruction that includes books with LGBTQ themes. Parents in that school district, which is in Maryland, have asked for the opportunity to opt their children out of any reading material with LGBTQ themes. And finally, we are still also waiting for the court's decision on this one here, Trump versus Casa. And this is the birthright citizenship case. So some really big decisions coming up. They'll come in the next couple weeks. Stay tuned to hear what happens.